This video is sponsored by WinX DVD. Not too long ago, Disney appeared unstoppable and unbeatable. Bolstered by the MCU, they earned more than any other studio. But to the powers that be at Disney, those days seem long ago, because this year, 2022, has been their worst year in modern history, with even their once invincible MCU titles underperforming or outright flopping. Now it's up to Avatar, the Way of Water, to bail them out. Can it do that? Well, it doesn't look too good so far, but how could Disney get to this point in the first place? How could even their Marvel titles flop? We shall see, for in this video, I will take a look back at Disney's year of failures, see what they have in common, and where Avatar, the Way of Water, differs. Before we get into any of that though, I know that many of you, like me, have some pretty substantial physical collections of movies, TV series, and even priceless family recordings from special occasions, and that is good. We always say, preserve your physical media. But we also say that as part of that preservation, you should consider taking digital backups as well, and for that, this video sponsored WinX DVD Ripper Platinum comes into the picture. Whether you want a lossless copy of the disc for your Kodi or Plex, or a smaller file in a format native to the device of your choice, or even fixed video aspect ratio and more, WinX DVD Ripper has you covered. Even DVDs that have some kind of damage which prevents them from being played back in a regular player may still have their content preserved by WinX DVD Ripper Platinum. WinX DVD Ripper Platinum is safe to download and compatible with both PC and Mac. Right now, they have a special Christmas sale where you buy one and get 4 programs for free. That's ISObuster for recovering data from physical media, WiseCare 365 Pro to clean up your own disk drive, Audios 1 for recording streaming video, and 10-bit Uninstaller Pro to manage software and remove plugins that slow down your computer. You'll get all of this included with a lifetime license to the full version of WinX DVD Ripper Platinum for only $39.95. Click the link in the description to get yours today, and with that, let's revisit Disney's string of failures, and let's do it department by department. While Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny isn't out until next year, Lucasfilm better hope the new ending promised by John Williams will make the movie more palatable to audiences, because after this year, they'll need it. Lucasfilm had no theatrical releases this year, and therefore no theatrical revenue, while on Disney+, which is a loss for Disney as what they earn in subscription fees does not cover the production costs of everything required to retain those subscribers. Obi-Wan started strong, but quickly pulled another Last Jedi on the franchise. The results of that could be seen in the Nielsen numbers for Andor, or rather in the lack of those numbers, because even the showrunner admitted that he was surprised that they ended up chasing the audience, despite critical acclaim and positive reviews from the comparatively few who saw it. Since then, Willow has also been underperforming, to the point where the cast have been begging for a second season, because it obviously doesn't draw in enough new subscribers for Disney Plus or retain existing ones in large enough numbers to financially warrant another season. You might want to keep that point in mind, because it's true for all Disney Plus series about to be mentioned, so good going, Bob Iger. All those heavy investments in Disney Plus really paid off. Let's move on to the realm of animation. Pixar's first movie this year was Turning Red. Despite a $175 million budget, it was dumped straight to Disney+, apart from in countries where there is no Disney+, which according to the numbers, makes this the biggest money loser of all time, measured in absolute theatrical loss. Also on this list, just a bit further down, is Lightyear, a movie which lost more than $120 million according to the numbers. But Disney has animation beyond Pixar in the guise of Disney Animation Studios, and their big release this year was Strange World, a contender for one of the wokest movies ever made. It's still in release, but it looks set to lose Disney upwards of $150 million by the time all is said and done. Next, let's move on to Disney's biggest breadwinner, Marvel. Let's just skip over the Disney Plus releases like She-Hulk, because they didn't do either Disney or the Marvel brand any favors. Marvel released 3 theatrical features this year: Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Of those 3, the biggest success is Doctor Strange, which grossed $955 million on a $200 million budget. So while it didn't reach $1 billion, which Disney no doubt wanted, it did earn them money. Grossing a mere $760 million on a $250 million budget, Thor: Love and Thunder probably broke even. Probably, but whatever money it made was pocket change. Still, that is preferable to Wakanda Forever, which according to WDW Pro over at that Park Place might end up losing Disney $100 million by the time all is said and done. In other words, this has been a horrible year for Disney, with several movies losing more than $100 million each, and not even one Marvel movie grossing $1 billion, even when aided by inflation and increased ticket prices. What could have gone so terribly wrong? There is a recurring theme in all of these movies, and that is their ideopolitical messaging. Disney are trying to change the world, but the world is increasingly recognizing that and not having it, instead walking away from all things Disney. The one Disney movie that bucks this trend, the one movie that puts family first and portrays fathers in a positive light, is Avatar: The Way of the Water. Can it bail Disney out after what is otherwise their worst year in modern history? When Disney acquired Fox, the Avatar franchise came along with it, and so did its budget and all other costs. And those costs are substantial. According to Variety, Cameron apparently told Disney executives that his sequel budget was so high it represented, quote, the worst business case in movie history. According to the director's estimates, you have to be the 3rd or 4th highest grossing film in history. That's your threshold. That's your break-even. Which is a roundabout way of saying the movie needs to gross $2 billion worldwide in order to just break even, let alone to profit. I hope for Disney's sake that Cameron was being facetious when he said this, but for the sake of argument, let's assume that he wasn't. The question then becomes whether Avatar: The Way of Water will gross less than $2 billion and add to Disney's financial woes, or if it will gross several $100 million more than that. Given the lofty goal, Avatar: The Way of Water is not starting out too great. I mean, it grossed $134 million in its domestic opening and $441 million worldwide, which would be amazing for any other movie, just not for one with an alleged $2 billion break-even point. The hope for Avatar, though, is that it might have legs and keep performing week after week for months to come. That's what the original Avatar did. Despite opening to a mere $77 million domestically, it had staying power, and it made it all the way to $750 million domestically and $2.7 billion worldwide. Will The Way of Water be able to repeat that feat in this day and age? Disney sure hopes so, because if it doesn't, 2022 is about to get a whole lot worse for them. How do you think it will fare? And regardless, do you think Disney will be able to admit why all their other movies flopped? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, remember to get your copy of Win Next DVD Ripper Platinum. Link is in the description.